The stately, elegant rituals and pace of courtship, of love-making, as you call it, under the gaze of chaperones, of happiness against all odds, and marriage. Here I am. I talk to you for 2 minutes. I kiss you and you... So I'm a little disappointed in myself, Mr. Bingley. I feel like those guys who discovered that Stone Age tribe and gave them the common cold. Wiped them out.
Miss Price, go.
No doubt, Miss Bingley, you and your brother find these young provincial gentlemen lacking in metropolitan refinement.
Oh, the young gentlemen we find the acme of particularity and taste. It is the ladies of the country whose crassness is unparalleled. As the mother of many daughters, you must find it wearying to have to lead by example in this field.
I do, Miss Bingley. I do.
Miss Price, a word. According to the laws of Christian hospitality, Miss Price, I may not turn you out of my house. Instead, I shall favour you with a warning. I do not know how a person like you comes to be so friend-like with Elizabeth. I fear your influence on her. But as to my other daughters who remain in my care, hear this. Do not obstruct them.
I promise you, Mrs.
It is not necessary for you to speak. Just listen. Do not obstruct any one of them in her quest for a propitious marriage. For if you do and my estate is lost because of it, something may come over you, Miss Price, like a thief in the night, which may not be quite so agreeable.
Wow, you're a real ball breaker. Sorry, you didn't know what that meant.
I understand the sense of your speech well enough, Miss Price. Do you understand why?
Elizabeth! It's all going completely tipped up. Bingley can't even see Jane under his... Elizabeth! Open this door! My dear father, I pray you, sir, not to trouble your mind about your most headstrong daughter. I quite flourish in Hammersmith. I am minded to sojourn here alone a while. Alone is underlined. If I might be so presumptuous as to offer advice to my own father, then I would admonish him to pay particular attention to Miss Price. She is intimately acquainted with the doings of our family, and I cordially believe her to be its most devoted and formidable ally. Trust her. Your affectionate daughter, Elizabeth.
When Lizzie was 10 years old, I taught her to fly a kite. She soon mastered it. She stood between my arms, in front of me, and took the strain. I believe she has taken it ever since. But as for my trust, you have it.
A rare thing, Miss Price, but Kitty was quite right. You are oracular. You prophesied Mr. Darcy would attend the ball, and he duly came. Did he prove equal to your expectations?
Yes, and no. I mean, he's not Colin Firth. But even Colin Firth isn't Colin Firth. He had to change the shape of his head with makeup. But no, Mr. Darcy was pretty spectacularly unfriendly. But that's what one would expect. Physically, he fills his britches pretty well, but he doesn't, float my boat. All that aristocratic languor. I know he can't help it, but it's really not very attractive to me.
He does not float your boat.
An expression current in Hammersmith, never to be used in front of Lydia.
Without Lizzie, the equilibrium of this house is fragile. It is fruitless to pretend otherwise. However, your presence among us affords a certain reassurance, at least to my father. And to me. It's very good to have you here.
Thank you. I'm glad I can be of service to you while I'm here.
It's not service, Miss Price. It is friendship.
Yes. Yes, it is. Okay. I have no idea how to fix this book, and I cannot sew this bloody pew thing without stabbing myself in the hand.
Miss Lucas, how convenient you are.
How glad I am of that, Mrs. Bennet. This is almost industrious.
Miss Price, alas, is a stranger to handiwork for the church. I'm sure she would bless you were you to take charge of her kneeler.
I may need to unpick all this and start again, Miss Price. Elizabeth sends news?
She writes to her father. Not to me. She clearly intends to stay in Hammersmith. Indefinitely.
And how long do you plan to stay here, Miss Price?
I intend to trespass on the hospitality of this household for not much more time.
I hope you stay forever.
Church has had enough from me for today. Let us have tea.
Mr. Bennet.
Do you show me your finger because it is injured?
I wish to know, Mr. Bennet, how long Miss Price is to remain our guest. She does not materially contribute to the running of the household. She is unkempt and indelicate, and not at all couth. She is upsetting the servants with all manner of improper remarks.
Elizabeth, in the book, your mother sends Jane to Netherfield on a horse in the rain. She gets a cold and has to stay the night, and that's how Bingley falls in love with her. But it's not happening. Nothing's happening the way it should. Right, I will do my best. Okay? For Jane.
Mr. Bingley instructed you to invite me to visit him.
Some men just find it hard to speak their love, except through an intermediary. It's not uncommon. You must go.
If I set off for Netherfield, Miss Price, it shall surely pour with rain. Look at the sky.
The rain will be torrential, and you will get very wet. This is all how it should be. Trust me.
Where does my sister go?
Netherfield.
But there is to be heavy rain. She'll be soaked to the bone and catch the grip. But this is terrible. The infection goes straight to her chest always. The last time she contracted it... Oh, foolish girl, she does not know.
Doesn't know what?
How close she was to death. Mama!
Miss Bennet! Jane!
Jane has gone to Netherfield Park in this weather, and Miss Price pursues her. Are you so obtuse, Mr. Bennet, that you do not see what is the matter here? She has gone to Queer Jane's pitch.
It is exciting when you bring the language of the theatre into this house, my dear, but might this room be returned to the purpose for which it was created? For me to sleep in undisturbed.
The weather today is uncongenial.
Is it? One tends not to notice.
whom do we owe the pleasure?
Captain Wickham.
Allow me to introduce Mr. Collins.
He's only been here one night, and he's proposed.
If I dream about him tonight, I shall be really angry.
Is she not glorious? You must not ask me, Charles. What I say may wound you. For my...
Good opinion once lost is lost forever.
I do believe Miss Price just assaulted Mr. Collins.
What?
Well, at 10:35 tonight, get lost behind the scenes of Soccer Aid. Well, next over on ITV3, another author profiled as Colin Dexter Week continues with more from his creation, Inspector Morse. And over on ITV4, another classic. Clint Eastwood returns as Dirty Harry in The Enforcer.